I don't want what my little boy went through to be for nothing. I want him to have a legacy, I want him to be remembered, and this house is what we do to make sure that happens. Lukas was probably feeling unwell for quite a few weeks before anything kind of came to light.
He got booked in for a scan, and then the next morning we got taken, you know, into a room.
I mean, I remember the words, "He has a small tumour at the base of his brain."
I felt like I could barely look at him because you just think, how can it be so poorly? We had a long wait till he was going to start his treatment, which the first thing was surgery. And it was Easter bank holiday weekend, so we got shown Ronald McDonald's house, and this is where all our friends and family, his friends, were all coming all weekend to play with him, meet, get together.
I'll never forget Lukas running around the garden with my dad the night before he went in, and we knew what we were facing, but he didn't, and he was smiling and he was happy, being like a normal 2-year-old, despite what was coming at that moment in time. This house meant that he could be as happy as he possibly could have been.
We made a lot of special memories that weekend here. Then we got a room.
It's not a place where we just slept and stayed. It's a place that we could be a family. It's a place that we felt safe, we felt warm, we felt cared for, and we felt like people on our side. And it means a lot more now as a memory than it probably did at the time.
The staff at the house just genuinely want to be there for you. They're just so invested in everybody's battles. I don't know how they find the time and the energy to do it, but they do. Lucas's surgery went really well. The next line of treatment was going to be his chemotherapy, which obviously, when you know you're going to give your 2-year-old some medicine that is going to make them so ill, it was difficult. After Lukas finished all his initial treatment, we left the house and we went home. He was actually really well, and it was a really nice summer, so he was always out in the garden, and then within a matter of weeks it was completely back to before the treatment.
Our consultant requested another scan. I just remember she came in with another nurse and said, can you look after the baby? And that means you come through to my office for a really difficult conversation. And she said, he's really poorly and this is going to be over quite quickly. And within 6 weeks, it was all over. And then you have to tell his grandparents.
He was so young, you know, there was never any conversations about what would happen. He didn't understand any of that. Little things matter to him, you know. Could he go to the sweet shop, even though it got to the point where he couldn't even eat any of the sweets he bought, but he just loved going to the sweetie shop and picking them out, and he would just hold them and not let go. He'd go to bed holding his sweets, never eat any. I've still got them. Still got them in our memory box, all these sweets that he bought, never got to eat.
Love you, Lukas.
I love you, Lukas.
I love you, Daddy.
And what about me?
I love you, Mummy.
I still can't believe that, you know, my little boy passed away, but he did pass away at home, comfortable, on a Saturday afternoon with his family there. And I guess one of the things I do remember is I wanted to tell the people at the house. Everybody had been in contact, everybody had been in touch, you know, just telling us that they were thinking of us, that he'd not been forgotten. We weren't going to use the house anymore, but you know, we were still getting the love of the house.
When you meet new people, it's something that I always really struggle with telling them, because you never know how people are going to react. The house is a way that we can wear what's happened to us proudly, and you know, it's something that gives us drive and are able to use it in a positive way. Here at the house we sponsor the railway room, because anyone that knew Lukas know how much he absolutely adored Thomas the Tank Engine. He lived for Thomas. It's Lucas's legacy. It just keeps his memory alive. I think he'd have loved being a big brother. He'd have looked after them too, and their chaos would have also driven him mad. We want the kids to know about the house for what it is, for what it does for families.
So every time we pull up outside, they're both desperate to go upstairs and see Lucas's room when we're here.
The Ronald McDonald House, it's meant so much to us in the last 10 years, and it will do forever. We'll always be a part of this place.